welcome to Long Weekend Adventures. She's Lisa. I'm Don. And today, we're in the backyard.
We are in the backyard. So we're, again, we're not trying to make a habit of this, but so today we actually had a lot of fun. We saw lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
And we went to the Wildlife Animal Sanctuary in Keensburg. So our whole plan was to get on-site footage and be able to talk to you guys while we were there, but it was super, super windy. And we had thunderstorms rolling in and T-storm warnings going off and that whole thing. So we were really trying to keep our eyes on the skies, and there was just no way that you guys would have been able to hear us with audio with as windy as it was. So nonetheless, we still did get a lot of video footage, and
we did get one audio gem.
And we did get one audio of so cool, and lions roaring, and obviously some photography that I was able to get and things like that. So we'll show all that to you guys, but we still wanted to give you guys the breakdown of the wildlife sanctuary, because if you ever get the opportunity to go, you need to go. It's super cool.
Yeah, and they don't advertise.
Not really.
I didn't know about it until Grandma happened to mention last year about it, and I think you had heard before then, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that being there. And then we were like, we need to go. Yeah. And it took us over a year to finally get out there. Yep. So we went, and it's really cool. It started back in 1980. Yep. And it wasn't open to the public. They didn't open it to the public until
2002.
2002. Yep. And they built a walkway. It's the longest suspended walkway in the world.
In the world.
It's just over it's a mile and a half
each way.
Each way. So you walk. You start in the beginning where they have a really nice facility. I wasn't expecting it to be so big and
yeah, it was huge.
professional. Talking to my grandma, it kind of sounded like a dude had some bears and lions on his property. You know,
it was much more than that.
Yeah, much more than that, which obviously you can see. But the walkway, the reason they do that is the animals don't feel threatened for some reason.
If you're up high,
they don't take it as in you're in their territory.
Correct.
They don't consider the sky as territory.
Yep.
So, unlike a zoo, when you come and you're at the same level with them, that's why you see the animals pace and get agitated and stuff like that. So they're completely non-for-profit, like I said.
Non-profit.
They're rescuing these animals from people that shouldn't have had them to begin with.
Who thought that they could raise a wild animal?
Or illegally attain the animal, or they find abused animals.
Very sad circumstances.
They've gotten animals from defunct zoos.
Yep.
They've gotten all these animals that unfortunately every single one of them kind of has a sad story on why they're there, and it kind of angers me that a place like this has to exist.
It's very sad
that people are that careless and hurtful towards animals.
Yep.
That a place like this exists, and it's the only sanctuary like it in the world.
Yep.
Except there's one more. They're building another one
southeast Colorado.
In Colorado, but that one won't be open to the public.
Right. And I mean, thankfully for the director that he cares enough to provide a place like this. So, they rely completely on volunteer work, donations of food. I mean, everything across the board is a complete nonprofit. They have 480 animals there, which I think was 80 different sections, I think is what was in the book. So they have anything from lions, tigers, and bears, like we said, leopards, jaguars, coyotes, wolves. What am I forgetting? I don't know. Lots of
lynxes, a lot of cats.
Lots of cats.
I would say the majority of what's there is cats.
Lots of tigers and lots of lions.
There's a story. They got one lion from a drug dealer.
Yeah. I don't understand
a Canadian drug dealer.
So Canadian drug dealer.
I don't know how tough, as far as drug dealers go, like on the scale, like how tough do you think the Canadian?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But, it was really neat. So, it's in far east Colorado. So for us, it was about a 45-minute drive. Right. So, but I mean, for us, it was definitely worth the drive. I think if you guys love wildlife, if you love animals, if you like to see them in kind of their natural habitat, it was so fun to watch them and just be able to be natural and not feel threatened like they are in a zoo, and things like that. It was a beautiful experience.
Well, and it's a total retirement community for them, basically.
Sure.
They get to live their life out there peacefully for the rest of their lives, and they provide all the medical and whatever medications they need are provided for them. And what that guy has done out there is incredible.
It's absolutely unreal.
And they're huge. They can take a lot of people. And they weren't really that busy. And granted, we did go on a Friday.
We did go on a Friday afternoon.
And pro tip, okay, when it's hot out, especially in the summertime, a lot of the foxes and stuff we didn't see when we walked out.
Go in the morning.
Go early in the morning. And sometimes here in Colorado, they open at 9.
Yeah.
And sometimes in Colorado, at 9 o'clock, you can already be at 75, 80 degrees.
Sure.
So I would actually recommend, because the park is open, or the sanctuary is open until sunset.
Till sunset.
So I would try to go later in the evening. And that would give you the best chance to see everything. And you're going to see in the video some animals that were in some smaller cages and stuff. And they explained that that's the condition when they rescue them. They rescue these animals in tiny cages. And they can't go and they have all these enclosures that are 5 acres plus.
Yep.
And they can't take an animal that's been caged and throw it right in a 5 acre open space.
They don't know what to do with themselves.
And it causes a bunch of stress. Plus, they have to introduce them to other tigers or lions, depending on what the animal.
They're very insecure when they get there because they've come from the terrible conditions that they were in.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have a whole staging area. They start out in a cage and then they get in a little bigger enclosure.
Yep.
And they said it could take up to 2 years before they actually get them in the big full enclosure.
With the rest of the animals. Yeah.
For sure. And if somebody's ever been there, a question I wanted to ask that I forgot to ask, because we are in Colorado, and it does get cold.
It does.
I know out east it doesn't, you don't typically get the blizzard conditions that we can here sometimes. Mm-hmm. But you still get snow, and they had a camel that was rescued there. So I'm wondering, what does a camel do? And tigers
in the wintertime?
Tigers don't like snow. So I'm curious, and we're going to definitely go back because it's a cool place.
It is a cool place.
And just to give our support.
Sure.
It's $30 for adults.
Yep, $30 per person.
I didn't catch the children charge.
I don't know. He said $30 per person, so I'm not sure if that's what it was for kids. And then they also asked that you make a donation. They don't care what the donation is. It could be $1, it could be $10, it could be $20, whatever you want. So the $30 per person plus whatever you would like to donate additionally that goes 100% to the animals. So I think it's just absolutely worth it. But, there were questions that we had come up with after we were done, and so not only to go back and support the animals, we'll probably go back if we can't find out the answer and go back and ask our questions and see if we can get some answers. So it was a really neat place. What an enjoyable experience, and it's sad that the animals were put through what they were put through, but thankfully they're in a great home now, and they're being taken care of and they're loved. And it's nothing like a zoo. It's not tight quarters with a bunch of glass where, people can be banging on the glass and tapping on the glass and things like that. You are nowhere near these animals. I don't even remember how high that walkway was.
It varies, but you're pretty high. You're pretty high up.
You're pretty high up, and most of them don't even look at you. So, they don't even know that you're there.
And there was, and that's where the walkway is, right? And the animals have a choice because they have a huge way to be. They can be way far off and way far away from the walkway. I know you had to use your telephoto lens to
for most of my shots,
And then when you look way out there, there's even more enclosures that we don't even have. You can just see off in the distance.
Sure.
So if you have binoculars, you should bring binoculars.
Yeah, good tip. Definitely bring binoculars if you have them. Because there were some enclosures out there. I think it was mostly black bears that were so far away we couldn't see them, and definitely too far away for me. Even with my telephoto lens to get something. So, but really neat place, and we obviously recommend that you guys go. So.
For sure.
How many acres was it? 700?
The kid, when we went, said 790, and then the video said 720.
720.
So I'm guessing
okay.
720.
720. All right, so 720 acres. So it's a huge place. Definitely plan for some time. We were there for what, 3 hours, something like that.
Easy.
Yeah. Maybe 3.5, closer to 4. Stop in, getting sound bites, getting video footage, taking photos, etc. All that kind of stuff. It takes time. So definitely plan for it to be, at least 4 hours, and then plus whatever it takes for you to drive there. But regardless, definitely worth it. So.
You just reminded me of the lion sound. We haven't played that yet.
Oh yeah, our lion bite. Yep.
So let's go to the lion sound. Let's cut to that. And I was so excited when we got back and we played it.
We were hoping, we were fingers crossed that we got that sound bite.
I didn't know if it was going to come through with the wind. And I think the wind had just died down just enough.
Just enough.
So without further ado, here is the lion roaring.
Yep.
That was amazing.
What a sound. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever have thought that, I would have been able, because they don't do that in the zoo. They don't roar in the zoo, they're so nervous.
Well, I've heard them a couple of times in the zoo. When they do, it's because they're like totally frightened, and it's just one real quick thing, and then you hear a bunch of kids scream. And
I've never heard them. The only time I hear them roar is if I'm watching National Geographic. So
you don't get to feel it like when you're there.
Oh my God!
It's so
it's so intense.
The bass on it, you can almost feel it in your core.
Yeah,
you can feel the roar. It's amazing.
It's just astounding. If you guys are able to witness that, it will just absolutely blow your mind. So we were blown away with that. But at any rate, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and next weekend we're doing the air show, right, in Longmont?
Yep, at Vance Brand Airport.
Yep.
In Longmont.
Yep.
So can't wait to do that. We've got an ongoing aviation theme, so that'll.
Yeah, it's been fun to check out some different things,
For sure.
So, well, we hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and share with your friends, tell your friends about us, and if you have any additional comments about the wildlife sanctuary, please feel free to comment below, and let us know.
Good job. Yeah.
All right.
Covered it all. So we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.